Hello everyone, here's Angelina or Angeli with you, presenting a bit delayed a video about this time's lunar eclipse. So, on September 7th, peaking at 2011 UTC, a lunar eclipse took place, this time along the Leo-Aquarius axis and the sidereal zodiac. An eclipse always symbolizes a reset of consciousness and the expulsion of old emotional patterns. This time, the transformation of consciousness is remarkable from an impulsive emotional crisis to re-evaluation of values and then to the attainment of deep inner stability. Just like in September last year, the eclipse occurred in the Nakshatra Purva Bhadrapada, known in Greek as Pegasus. Only then it was in Pisces and now it is in Aquarius, passing through its first pada. The 25th Nakshatra, one of the last in the lunar cycle, is fierce and frightening, especially in its mysticism. It is the most transformative nakshatra. Her name is translated as the front legs of the funeral cot, or literally the fortunate front legs. For what could be more fortunate than finally leaving this illusory world? Its deity is Bhadrapada, the mediator between heaven and earth, whose name is a metaphor for lightning and associated with Rudra, the personification of anger and fury. Where does anger come from? From unfulfilled desires for which a person came into this world, small or great. I want it, and I want it right now. How can I not have it? I cannot bear this. Impulsive fits of anger as well as envy. Why do they have it and I do not? Am I worse? Do I not deserve it? The symbol of Purva Bhadrapada is a two-faced man that transitions from one state to another, an instant change of essence, like a flash of lightning. This is where the moon, the mind, is now drawn and absorbed into fire, impulsiveness, into the awakening of a passionate desire for transformation, a sudden change in one's outlook on life. When the moon passes through the domain of this nakshatra, it's favorable to study matters connected with the completion of processes. One must always remember the very last process before consciousness transitions to another level, the death of the physical body. Purva Bhadrapada is a mystical nakshatra, connected with the destruction of old forms for the sake of liberation. It can bring crisis-like feelings, but also the awakening of spiritual will. The eclipse itself took place in Aquarius under the joint rulership of Saturn and Rahu. Saturn and his own Uttarapadrapada nakshatra is connected with deep inner resilience, patience, and acceptance of the inevitable. He provides the resource not to burn out in crisis but to slowly and profoundly process the experience gained. Since he is in the second house from the eclipse, the emphasis falls on speech, self-expressions, resources, and also on stability after upheaval. Saturn acts as a stabilizer. Instead of chaos, he demands discipline and the establishment of a new value system. Rahu, the hero of the eclipse, stands only 3 degrees away from it, and the second pada of Purva Bhadrapada. He builds a bridge from mysticism to material concerns, from spirituality to matter, the desire to acquire values, wealth, pleasures. But on a deep level, this leads to the realization that true value is not external, but internal. Through which spheres does Rahu force learning? Through money, food, speech, family resources. And in Navamsha, Rahu is in Taurus. The re-evaluation occurs in the themes such as what is valuable to me and how do I exchange energy with the world. It seems as though Rahu in Purva Bhadrapada plunges one into instability and mystical seeking, but in fact he pulls upward toward harmonization, the ability to value simple things, to bring order to speech, finances, and inner balance. Purva Bhadrapada is ruled by Jupiter, the expander of consciousness, the guru, the teacher, the principle of wisdom. He acts as a spiritual guide, directing the thunderous energy of the Nakshatra toward the search for meaning, through the higher knowledge, even through crisis, the destruction of the old, or the duality of Purva Bhadrapada. He poses an ethical challenge, sets the bar, testing how far a person can unite transformation with ethics, faith, and purity of intentions. The lessons of Purva Bhadrapada are harsh. Jupiter here acts as a strict teacher, first removing familiar supports and then opening new understanding. The Nakshatra symbol, the front legs of the funeral coat, once again, is the image of transition, of endings and beginnings. Jupiter shows that all of this has been for the sake of a higher meaning. He teaches to give, to let go, to trust the law of dharma.